Hello there, Whipper here, and today I'm going to be showing you a mod called the Toolbelts mod, and this basically adds 7 different kinds of tool belts into Minecraft, and these appear on your player character. And the cool thing about this mod is that there's actually no items or crafting recipes, because after you've installed the mod the first time, it just instantly appears on your character, and you'll get the tool belt that you've actually selected. And to select different tool belts, all you have to do is press right control and the plus button, and you can actually rebind this in the controls menu. So if I scroll down here, at the bottom we've got the belt cycle key, and then you can define this to whatever you want. So I've bound it to apostrophe, just for ease of use so I don't have to stretch across my keyboard. But the first belt I'm going to show you is just the regular default belt, and each of these belts has different features. They have different items that they store and different locations for where they put the items. So with the first belt, this one can actually only store torches, potions, glass bottles, arrows and swords and pickaxes. It can't store bows. I was just testing this out earlier, which is why I've got the bow in my inventory, but sadly you can't store bows. The bows isn't placed anywhere. But if you want to store your bow, there's actually another belt for that. But you can see that I've got my torch and my potion on the front there, along with a chest, which is actually a permanent feature of this belt. And then on the left hand side, which is actually my left hand according to my player view and not what I'm looking at my character at the moment, I've got my sword, and then on the right hand side I've got my pickaxe. And if I swap to the back, why is there a pick on the floor? Interesting. But then we've got my glass bottles and then my arrows, and that pretty much sums it up for this one. It just looks really cool, and you can have all your items stored on this. And actually, when you hold items, you see they disappear out of the slot where they're stored and appear in your hand. So if I go to the arrows, you can see they've disappeared off my back, and then if I go to the glass bottles, that's disappeared. So that's how the system works. But now I'm going to swap over to the next belt. I'm just going to press those 2 keys, and there we go. Next up we've got the Rambo Belt, and this one I'm going to have to change to slot 4 here. And this one only stores torches, potions, arrows, and your bow, which is the cool feature about this one, and the sword but not the pickaxe. And that's because where the pickaxe would normally go, you've actually got a chest, a little storage chest, and that's just a fixed size, nothing special about that one. But if I swap to the back now, you can see where the bow's stored. It's really cool. It's like a back mounted item. It's like similar to the back tools mod if you've ever seen that. Then you can see I've got my arrows, the torches and the potion on the front over the shoulder belt kind of thing. There. So that sums it up for the Rambo belt. But next up we've got the Assassin's belt, which is pretty much the same in the visual appearance as the Rambo belt, but this one's actually red instead of brown, and this one actually only stores like 3 different items, which are the bow, arrows and sword. And you can see the sword's on my left hand side there, and then on the back you'll see I've got my arrows and the bow, and also I've got a little double chest on the back there, which is just a storage area for all your items. Because in normal Minecraft you're probably a bit perplexed about how you can actually hold all the stuff that you actually carry around, and now there's actually a viable option for that. You've got these chests on your belt where these items could be stored, although the chests would probably have to be like 30,000 times the size to actually store all the items that Steve generally carries, but this is like a quarter of the way there for realism. But the cool feature about these chests on the front, you can actually see I've got 8 chests there, 6 small ones and 2 bigger ones. But if I actually get rid of all this stuff out of my inventory, you can see I've got no chests on the front, but the back chest on the back remains. And this is because you get extra chests displaying on the front depending on how many items you actually have in your inventory. But next up is the simple shoulder bag belt. And this one is just the over the shoulder strap, not over the head, that would look a bit ridiculous. And this one only has a chest on the side, and you can't actually store any items on this. So you can see I've got nothing displaying, and if I had all the items in the world in my inventory, nothing would still display. So I could put cobble here, and you can see nothing is displaying on my belt. But the cool thing about this one is the chest size on the side of you is actually dynamic to the amount of items in your inventory. So if I clear my inventory now and look at my side, you can see that I've got a diddy chest there. I've no longer got that huge one, I've got a tiny one. So it's variable depending on how many items you have in your inventory. But now over to the next belt. So next up is the Hotbar Belt, and in my opinion this is the coolest belt of all of them because it actually displays any item. And how this works is it will actually display the first 6 items on your hotbar in addition to the first 2 items in the main area of your inventory. So I've got cobblestone here, and then I've got all these items here, and you can see they're randomly displayed around my tool belt. So I've got the bow, then the arrow, then the stone bricks, and then torches, and then my sword on the left hand side, and on the right hand side I've got my pick. And if I swap to the back view, I've actually got my diamond and my mushroom stew, and then followed by the 2 bits of cobble, which are the first 2 slots in your inventory. So yeah, that's pretty much sums it up for the Hotbar Belt, and it doesn't support the bow, the same as the basic belt. So next up, let's see what we've got. We've got the Survivor's Kit. Now this one has a massive chest on the back, and it also supports your tools. So here we go. And the cool thing about this one is that you can actually have a bed in your inventory, and it's going to show up like all neatly wrapped up on top of the chest on your back, like so, and it looks like you're about to hike up a mountain or something. And I love the size of that chest on the back. It looks like a backpack or something. And also you can store the sword and the pickaxe along the side, but no other items. So pretty much all you're limited to with this one is a bed, a pick, and a sword. So that's pretty much it, really. And finally, last but not least, we've got the Ichin, I think I'm saying that right, rip-off belt. And Ichin is another mod creator, of course, and I'm presuming he made this belt at some point, and it's just been stolen by the other mod creator, so he's just put this in for a laugh or something. But yeah, all this one does is store the sword and your pickaxe, nothing else, no items or anything like that. So that pretty much sums you up for the Toolbelt mod. It just adds 7 different kinds of tool belts, and you can wear them depending on which one you prefer, and then walk around looking awesome. And of course there is no item to craft, so it's just permanent. Really good mod. I'm presuming it also works on multiplayer since there's no items, so you can just go around on multiplayer servers with this. But of course if no one else has this mod installed, it's not going to show up for other people. So yeah, thank you for watching. This is the Toolbelt mod, and please remember to leave a like, it really helps out.